Hold on. Hey guys, I hope you're doing well. Hold on. I should have done this before I hit record. But we're going to finish up this radial strap. We're already done with the suspenders over there. Oh, this is bad editing. Hold on guys, give me a second. I'm on no edit. Why did I choose to hit record now? That doesn't make any sense. Alright, this should be... We should be good right here. Alright, mic check, mic. Alright, that works. Alright guys, hope you guys are doing well. We're going to, the last video we ended up finishing the pair of suspenders over here. Now we're going to finish this radial strap. Okay, so we're going to turn the camera over and we'll assemble this radial strap and then we'll be done with our pending orders. All right, so for your convenience, I beveled and burnished all of these pieces and I put the edges on everything, the edge coat. So all of these pieces are done, okay? This main strap we have to burnish. I already beveled, just gotta burnish it. So let's get started. I'm gonna do this by hand. I prefer to do the burnishing by hand on the main strap. Just comes out nicer. You know what I mean? Hope you guys had a good week. Mine's been kind of crazy. Yeah. A little glycerin saddle soap. And let's burnish. Now I'm just getting the form first. What I'm doing is I'm using this notch right here, and then I'm gonna come over right now and use this notch. Because I kind of want to round it off first, and then I'm gonna come back with the flat side. Because that first notch is a little tight, and I only really got the top and bottom of the edge, not the flat side. So now I'm hitting the flat side with this. Yeah, it's coming out really good. I'm gonna hit it with some sandpaper, 1000 grit, 800 grit. Something light. And then I'm gonna come back with some more water. You can keep going back and forth and doing this stuff until you get a nice finish, you know? Oh yeah, buddy. You can kind of hear it burnishing. It'll make like a clicking sound. You can kind of feel it. It's a feel thing. When you start to really get a good burnish, you hear it. It's hard to explain. You just gotta feel it. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's see if we can see a difference. I didn't put any finisher on there. But there's that burnished side versus the unburnished side. I don't know if you can tell the difference. Maybe I just made myself look bad right there. I don't know. But it is what it is. Let's hit the other side. As far as the ends, I'm going to use my power burnisher. It is hot in here, but it's really hot. I'm going to use the power burnisher for the edges. I could get to that really quick on the power burnisher. It's a lot easier to do the rounded edges, the points on the power burnisher. Okay. Make sure we get that rounded edge first. And now we can go back on the bigger groove. don't know, I just feel like I get a better burnish by hand versus the machine, at least on these big runs. I do need a jig. I need to make a jig. I've seen a couple guys make a jig for long straps like this, just some 2x4, and you kind of wedge it in there, clamp it down. You probably don't even need to clamp it, just a nice tight wedge, maybe a 1/4 inch gap in there, and you let it sit in there so the belt stays up like this. So you don't have to fight it, always trying to flop over. But ain't nobody got time for that. I probably should. I keep saying that and I won't do it. I'm just so used to doing it like this. If I introduce a new method, it kind of freaks me out a little bit, even though I know that it's probably going to help me out in the long term. I just convinced myself to actually make it just now. Oh, the other thing too on his name, I put a little, I'll explain to you in a second. I can't focus on two things at once. I'm like, focus on this. Hold on. On his name, right here, I put a little acrylic resin, the same stuff I put on the edges. I use a Q-tip. I just use a Q-tip, dip the Q-tip in my acrylic resin jar, and just went over only the letters there. And I gave it a little bit of shine, and you'll see once I put my other finish coat on top of that, it looks really, really nice. All right, so that might be a little overkill because this paint is already acrylic. So I'm just putting another acrylic cover on top of that. So it's a little overkill, a little redundant, but that's what I do. All right, I'm gonna go to a power burnisher over here real quick and hit these edges up. Especially this side, because this is the front. This is where you're gonna see the most. And I wanna get that nice and done. So the power burnisher, you guys want to see me do it? Maybe I could change it, the camera angle, without you yelling at me. Yeah, let's do that, all right? Without you yelling. Don't yell at me. Right there. We'll do that right there. Of course, I'll finish this off by hand as well, but this you can really work the radius here. You really could. That's just one move, one pass, and I'll finish by hand. Just hit the back, even though this is going to be hidden in the back here. This is the other side. It's going to be a trigger snap over this, but we still want to seal it and burnish it. Can't leave this job undone. But we're gonna focus now. Everything should be. That's done. What I wanna do now is take my cloth rag. This is canvas, and I wanna get this edge. This is what people are gonna see. The buckle's gonna go over here. This is the front, and I want people to, people are gonna see that. It's gonna be, what am I saying? You guys know what I mean. This is what's gonna be most visible, this end. All right, that's what I'm trying to say, y'all. So let's really get this edge, this end really nice and burnished. I like it. All right, I'm gonna put all this burnishing stuff away, which goes right here, because next is the edge coat. So what I'm gonna do is put the edge coat on this, and that's basically the acrylic resin in a jar. And while that's drying, we can start assembling the holster over there on that side. Oh, what time? What is it? 20 minutes. I got 20 minutes left on this recording. So maybe we'll just call it after this and see how much we can get done. Like I said, I already did this with the all the other smaller pieces. So maybe we'll just get to the holster part, assemble that holster. Okay, now I'm going to pick it up and do the other side. Whoa. You can't see me, can you? Let's change over here. So you can see you can get a better view. It's kind of funny walking your hand down here. You got to use like your palm. You got to concentrate with your tongue out like that. See, now when I start punching the holes on this is when it really starts to come together. That looks really sharp. Now that I'm over the name, yeah, this is really sharp. I should charge $7,000 for this strut. All right, so the edge, I put the edge coat on there, and now let us simply start assembling this bad boy. While that's drying, the edge coat. Probably by the time I finish the holster, we'll be good to go. And we can start assembling the whole thing. My battery's about to die on this camera. Go figure. Okay, so let me put this bad boy away over here. I still got to make a chin strap to go with that order there. But what I'm doing now is, if you guys order my kits, you'll notice that when you assemble this, this piece here, this long piece, does not come with the holes pre-punched. Because imagine trying to match up those holes, it will be imperfect. So what I do is, the first piece, the top piece here, the plate, or whatever you call it, has the holes, and all you gotta do is follow up, so it'll be a perfect match once you glue it. That's what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna follow up these holes. If you do it that way, it's a perfect fit every time, versus trying to line up all these holes. So I'm gonna follow through. Those are basically just indicators, and I just gotta follow through. This way those holes are perfect. Sometimes it's easier to do it that way than the other way around. Because no matter what you do, you're not gonna line those two things up perfect and glue it perfect. It'll just be a little off anyway, and you're gonna have to do this anyway, and it's gonna look even worse than just gluing it and then following through. Does that make any sense? It looks cleaner that way, in my opinion. Okay, of course I put this down because that'll really scratch up the back of that pristine leather without it. So, all right, it's assembly time. And I just want to double check. This gentleman wanted, I'm just checking real quick. Black, adjustable, hardware, stainless steel. So let's get some stainless steel hardware. I'll be back. I'm sure you guys don't want to see me get the hardware. You guys see me do this a million times, but we're gonna get the hardware. Now, do I need to make a lot of noise right now just to annoy you? Probably. I think I'm actually gonna do that. I got all the hardware that I need, but now what I'm doing is simply making all this crinkling noise just to annoy you a little bit. You know what I mean? I don't need to be doing this anymore. I'm literally just moving the hardware in my hands just to the point of annoyance. And then let me know when I'm there. All right, I got it. I think I heard somebody say, all right, dude, I get the point. I heard it. All right, so hardware. Phone. Hardware, phone. Back to this. We're gonna assemble this guy. My battery's about to die. So we're almost done. We'll just assemble this one, we'll call it. Because, yeah, I think we're gonna run out of battery here. I should have checked, but I didn't. Okay. First thing I do is I set this, let me get it a little bit closer for you guys. I like this view. What do you guys think? Is this good? Or you want to punch me in the face? Which one? What's it going to be? You're going to unsubscribe? Okay, so I'm gonna put my Sam Brown stud or button head screw there first. That's what I'm gonna do. I always drop a little Loctite on there. I just always do. All right, you see? But I gotta really get this down. So I want this to really cinch down. I don't want it to undo itself. All right, that's about as good as it's gonna get. I'm gonna leave this out because I'll use it later for those other pieces. Okay, now this little piece. And I have a very unique holster system, and it is engineered out of pure laziness because I don't want to do all this crazy riveting. So I figured out a little system to make it as efficient as possible and with the fewest shenanigans. Because when I first started doing this, this was the hardest part until I figured out a better design that assembles way faster and it holds up. And trust me, I tested it. I ran it for a good year when I was on the engine, and been through a lot of action with it, and it held up. What matters is the kind of leather you use more than anything. You can't get some spongy stuff for any of these pieces on the holster because, and it will not hold. But you get a good strong piece that's not spongy or anything like that. You need a good strong piece, and yep, it'll be no problem whatsoever. Inversely, you don't have to use a D-ring right here. You can use an O-ring if you wanted to. And I'd say at least 1 3/4 or 2 inch O-ring. O-ring will be good right there. 1.5 would not be big enough. So, you see? And there's some tension there. The way I designed this, there's some tension right here. So it's not gonna just flop around. If you make this, if you use a cheap piece right here, this D-ring is gonna wanna twist on itself, but it still works. It's not a problem. All right, next is we're gonna put the piece, the horizontal piece that goes around. I don't know why I'm teaching you guys how to do this. I already have a video on this. I guess I have nothing else to talk about. You know what I mean? Put the Chicago screws right in there. That's why I say 5/30 seconds is king, because it's the best, because these screws don't come out. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Imagine trying to assemble this and these screws keep popping out. So a 5/30 seconds punch, the screws will sit when you're assembling so you don't fall out. Trust me. I learned the hard way. So same thing with this horizontal piece. You want a really good stout piece. Don't go cheap on that. Don't go belly leather. Use a really good strong piece. And I'm just gonna weave this through. And it's gonna come back on itself into those screws. So really it's just 4 screws, 2 rivets and 2 screws. And then the holster's done, see? I'm gonna drop some Loctite here so it doesn't back out. You could use rivets here, but you'll see why that's almost impossible unless you have a really specific anvil with a pretty good size head on it that you can kind of wedge this in there. And but why go through that hassle when you just use Loctite? Whip this around, screw it in. See? How would you rivet that in? I've seen guys do that. They get really creative. They have to wedge this on the thing. I don't know. And the post gets all wonky because it's crooked. But this right here, Chicago screw, Loctite, Dunskies. Red Loctite, not blue. Red is permanent, blue is temporary. Or you can still back it out. Red is like basically crazy glue. And then imagine if those screws constantly were popping out, it would be hard to do. Now I mash it down. I got red Loctite on both. Keep spinning it until I feel on this finger the head of that screw spinning. So you got to bottom out. Some guys stop here, they feel a little tension, and they're like, oh, I think I ran all the way through. Not really, you're just pushing through the first layer, and then you'll feel it break loose a little bit, and you could spin it again. You keep spinning until you feel it on the other side, on this side here. You feel the head moving when you're spinning it. It's hard to explain, but, and then you gotta kind of straighten it up, and then that's done. See what I'm saying? That's literally done. I got 9 minutes left. Let's at least finish this. All right, the only thing I have left is the anti-sway strap. Just a piece of leather. And we're just gonna go ahead and I'll show you how that operates as far as keeping the radio holster inside once I finish this. But I got 9 minutes, and let's see if we can get it done. Yes, we can. Guys, it's really hot in my garage. I want to put the fan on. But for you, I'm not gonna do it. So you can hear my rambling. You know what I mean? Okay. Okay. So really 10 minutes, maybe even 5 to put that holster together. 10 minutes because I had to glue it a couple days ago. And let it set. So there's the anti-sway strap. And that simply connects back here. See, that's why I like that D-ring in the back. Some guys use those little cheaper clips and then go in here. I don't know, it just doesn't seem like it holds together really tight. Now the other thing we only need is a piece of strap to go around here, connect to here. And I don't like using snaps. I like using these button head screws because you can always replace this. Snaps kind of, after a while, they don't work. They always break. I'm getting something. This is some shock cord. You get Amazon. I whip out about 2 feet, 24 inches, 20 to 24 inches is suffice. Cut them off right there. Throw that back underneath there. And we're gonna weave her through here, like so. All right, that's what it looks like. All right, this is shock cord, so it has some bounce to it. It'll snap back. And then all we're gonna do is weave it through those 2 holes up there. Done. And done. To me, that's a lot easier than anything else. There you go. And all they gotta do is cinch this over the radio. I don't tie it in the back because I don't tie it in the back. I let them put the radio in, cinch this over the knobs, cinch it down really tight back here, and then tie it off in the back, whatever you want. Beckett bend works the best, FYI. And then that's it. They can tie it off. I'm sure firemen know how to tie a knot back there. So the holster's done. All we got to do now is we got 6 minutes left. I think I'm going to call it, and then we'll pick up. Let me say goodbye over here. All right, so that's it for this one. And all we have left is to punch some holes. By the way, the edges are dry already on this. Punch the holes out over here. Then we need to put, punch all the holes on this belt. Takes 24 seconds. And then assemble these 5 pieces. The next video should be done. I think I got 10 minutes left assembling. And then we'll see everything we made. The holster, the radio strap, and the suspenders that we have here on the table. And that'll be the end of this no edit double build, I guess you can call it. But let me end this one, change the battery, and then I'll see you guys on the next one. Talk to you later. God bless. Bye.